Quite a lot of years ago, when I first embarked on ministry training, I enrolled for a one-year school of evangelism and church planting with a church in South Africa. So this school was called Pioneer, and there were about a dozen of us that were following it. It was a full-time school for a whole year. And I remember as we gathered at the beginning to launch this thing, we were being talked through the schedule, how things were going to happen. And the daily schedule went like this. The first item on the schedule was 5:15 a.m., get up. The second item on the schedule was 7 a.m., gather for breakfast. So I kind of looked at this and thought, wait, so what do I do between 5:15 and 7 a.m.? Why do I have to get up so early? Like, I understand maybe the girls need a little longer to get ready, but still, that's crazy. And this obviously came out as a question, and we were told, no, the reason for this is because if you're really going to press into what we want you to experience this year, you're going to have to develop a really strong personal devotional life, right? You need to be engaging with Jesus first thing every day for at least an hour, because you need to be experiencing that kind of one spirit relationship with him that Paul talked about in 1 Corinthians 6, when he said, if any man joins himself to the Lord, he becomes one spirit with him. And the Apostle John in 1 John chapter 1 talks about how the whole purpose of him sharing his experiences was that we might have fellowship with one another, but also with the Father and with the Son. So, there's this real goal, and this is what was promoted right at the outset of our Pioneer School. And I was quite a new believer, and I had a good walk with the Lord, but I hadn't got that kind of thing set as a discipline. And so from that day, I put it into practice. I put it in place. And I want to say it was transformational for me. And I think we still promote that today. Now, over time, my emphasis has changed here and there. And out of the gate, I definitely want to make it clear, we're not saying legalistically you have to have like a devotion time every day, or that it has to be an hour or anything like that. But we do have the goal that we want to pursue Jesus, right? However that looks. And for different people in different lifestyles, it will look different. Maybe some days it's a really brief thing. Other days you may have longer. And there may be occasions, a little bit like when we read about Jesus. Like, it doesn't say that Jesus had a daily devotion time. He may have done. And that's cool. But it does say that he would often be off on his own in the wilderness to pray. Or one occasion we read how he was out praying before daylight started. Another occasion he was out on the mountain all night praying. So, so it varies. And I think it's good to mix it up, to keep it fresh. But definitely we're not into the legalism of saying you've got to do this, that, or anything else. However, we have this goal that we are all pursuing union with Jesus together. And so something of a devotional lifestyle we really recommend to press into that. Another goal that we have with InBuilding, as you've probably noticed or heard me talk about, is that it's really focused on the new creation emphasis. Like, if we're going to go after union with Jesus, my understanding is that only happens in the new man. It's in the new creation life. So as we learn to unpack and live in the new creation that he's given us, then so union with Jesus becomes more and more like fluid. It's like it's automatic, really. We're just flowing with him. We're in alignment with him. And that's really where the union experience is found. So, so we want to encourage a devotional lifestyle. We also want to help, especially during the incubate period, we want to encourage this recalibration of our lives around new creation realities, new creation truth. And so what we decided to do is to communicate that new creation content in the form of devotion studies, so that you've got some real material to look at and ponder and work through as part of a personal daily devotion time. So we have this series of devotion studies called INNsights. They're arranged around 6 specific new creation themes that we've identified. And there are 6 studies in each theme, so 36 in total. And we call them INNsights because they're to do with ins, and they're hopefully insightful, but they're not really intended to be that insightful themselves. It's more that we're putting material in front of you so that as you press in to seek the heart of the Lord, then revelation can flow. We really encourage that that's journaled for a couple of reasons. One is, if you journal your experience, you can go back to it, right? And you can reinforce things. In fact, we recommend that if you're going to do this, that each day's devotion, you can start by reading the previous journal entry, so there's continuity. Another advantage of having the journal is that this isn't just about a personal devotion time. We're all going to be doing this on our own, but the goal is that we're doing it like in tandem together, that the others in the group are following the same materials. And when we gather together, one of the purposes is that we share our experiences, and the best way to do that is to just have our journal with us and share some of the things that the Lord has been revealing. And the goal in this is that then together we kind of develop this pool of revelation and understanding, and grow together and encourage each other as we're pursuing this new creation lifestyle. So INNsights, I mentioned, is 6 themes. If you take the first letter of the title of each theme, you get these 6 letters, N-E-T-C-O-M. So we call the themes Netcom, N-E-T-C-O-M. These are the theme titles very quickly. It's New Identity, Eternal Destiny, True Holiness, Community Witness, One Glorious Church, Multiply. That's Netcom. So you can go on the site, on the website. We've got all of those arranged in short devotion studies. It'll take about 10 minutes or so. A lot of scripture, a little bit of commentary around the keys. And the idea is that you really just use that to fuel this pursuit of Jesus in your devotional life. We're also going to post some videos that give some overview of some of that content as well. So I encourage you to make use of those, and really trust that as you do this, you're going to be experiencing what James wrote about in James chapter 4 when he said this: if you draw near to God, he will draw near to you. And that's what we're after. It's this intimate walk with him. So God bless you, and praise Jesus as you pursue that.